Alright guys, so what I've done is kind of put together a little video of a few clips from this past week in training for me, leading up to what I have 2 weeks from now, which is the WABDL National Championships for push-pull. Push-pull meaning bench and deadlift, in case you weren't aware of what push-pull meant. So I'm sitting here about two and a half weeks out, 2 weeks out, and I wanted, like I said, put together some highlights from this week in training. I'm only going to be deadlifting in the competition, so I'm putting a lot of emphasis on my deadlifting. So for this deadlift week, I'm taking a deload week off of the heavy lifting I've been doing. Last week I hit 90% for 4 singles, so after that I'm going to let my body recover another week and stay focusing on the movement, but take the weight down a little bit so I don't hit my central nervous system as hard. So I'm kind of focusing on the weak point of my deadlift here, which is my lockout, and specifically my hip transition coming from off the floor. A little bit past my knees is when I tend to slow down. So really what I'm trying to focus on here is the hip speed coming through to the top. So what the bands are doing is they're pulling down obviously as you go higher and higher, and they force you to make yourself have fast hips towards your lockout. And you'll notice that if you do this for a week or two, going back to the free weight without bands, you should notice a big difference in your hip transition as far as speed goes. So I ended it with a single at 495 pounds. Still need to pick up that hip speed. Moving on to bench day. Like I said, I'm playing with some different variations here. I wanted to focus on decline bench for a few weeks. This is, I think, my 4th week in training focusing on decline bench. I think that of all variations of bench, this might help me the most in transferring over back to my single ply shirt, my bench shirt, where I'm bringing the weight down to my belly and throwing it back. Also, a lot of studies show that doing the decline press, you'll activate the most muscle fibers in your chest. So it never hurts to focus on the decline and see how it works for you. For me, I've noticed that I definitely put on some added size in my chest, and I'll be going back to the flat bench here soon and seeing how the strength carry over for that. So the doubles with 405 went really well. The weight went smooth. I did feel a lot stronger as I went on with these 4 weeks of pressing decline. Quick shout out to my good friend Zach Black spotting me. He's also training in powerlifting as well. Put on tons of strength, and the probably, I think, 2 years or so he's been powerlifting. He should be ready to compete here soon and make some noise. So you guys stay tuned for what he's about to accomplish. And then, yeah, Tiger Brown.
And then Tiger Brown.
And that would be my girlfriend in the background. I'm not going to redo this recording because I've done it like 10 times. So the main goal of this squat day was to get some more work in with my new squat suit that my beautiful girlfriend bought me for my birthday. The thing with squat suit, guys, if you guys aren't aware, there's raw lifting, which is just completely by yourself, no extra equipment, and then there's single ply and multi-ply lifting. And I sometimes compete in single ply powerlifting. So basically what that means is, and shout out to Irving for the Goldberg shirt, my favorite wrestler of all time, by the way. I really appreciate Irving. Basically what a single ply squat suit is I believe, I'm not an expert, I'm kind of new to this, I believe it's polyester. It's really tight material. What it's going to do is going to wrap around your legs and hips really tight, and as you sink down lower and lower into your squat, you're going to feel a lot of tightness in your hips, especially in your glute area. And what that's going to help you do is kind of spring up out of the hole where a lot of people tend to have trouble. So yes, it does add poundage to your lifts. Is it cheating? No, I don't consider it cheating, because there's a specific division and category where everyone wears the same type of equipment. So basically, it's in its own division. Wonderful. So yeah, we're just working up, going up 45 pounds each time. We saw a single of 587 pounds. The colors are about 2 pounds each, or 2 pounds in total. The goal today was to hit 2 singles with 677 pounds. I plan to hit a single around mid 700s next week, so you guys can stay tuned for that video. The suit for me is still really tight going towards the hole, and I think I need to drop it a little bit lower, so hopefully next week I'm able to drop it. We're just still working in the suit, guys. It's harder for me to really explain. It's something you would have to feel, but it's something you got to work in over time. It's hard to really get it down to depth, down to low powerlifting level squat in just a couple weeks of using a new suit, especially the Super Centurion, which is a very high quality suit. So this is actually only my second week in my whole entire life of lifting weights. Again, keep in mind I started lifting and training back when I was about 5 years old, so this is only about the second week I've ever done seated overhead press with the barbell, so it's a very new movement to me. But I do like the improvement I'm showing with it, so I'm probably going to stick with it and use it as a very good accessory exercise that hopefully transition well over into my bench press. So we're just working some high volume sets here. Started with a set of 2 with 300. I need to get the bar lower on that set, but with the heavier weight I don't want to take too many risks. As long as I can feel that weight in my hands and press it up, bring it down to at least my nose, that's what I'm going to take for now. And then for the lighter sets like 275 and 225, I make sure to bring it down below my chin. And the weight's feeling really, really good, so it feels good to up my volume with the shoulder press here. I've heard a lot of good things from some training partners and stuff like that about barbell overhead press, so I look forward to see how it transfers over. Big shout out to my good friend Corey Brown behind me, CO Cinco. He's a college football player, just transferring over from Glendale Community College, and he'll be transferring over to university come the fall. So he's been training with me and getting ready to prepare for that. He's one of the hardest workers I've had the honor to come across, so it's always good to have him as a training partner. So right here you see me doing some heavy upright rows. I like to call these power upright rows just because you see a little bit of a cheat, or whatever you guys want to call it, to help get the weight up. Keep in mind I am a power lifter, so a lot of my movements and stuff like that are geared towards helping me in that sport. So with powerlifting and stuff like that, I'm using my full body to move weight, and I like to incorporate that and even into my isolation exercise and stuff like that, to help overload the muscle and help just get my body used to carrying heavier loads. Although I do go back and do a lot of lighter isolation movements, working on hypertrophy, kind of geared towards more bodybuilding style training. I didn't include a lot of it in this video, but that's definitely something I can include in future videos for you guys. I just kind of put together a lot of my heavier stuff for this specific training video. Right here, after you saw my heavier curls, I tried to train biceps the same way I train like chest and back and legs and all that. So I start with heavier lifts, where I use a little bit of a cheat to help get the weight up, help overload the muscle that way, and I'll build back down to what you see here, doing strict upright curls.
Okay guys, so that's going to wrap up the video. Nothing too crazy in there, just wanted to give you guys a little insight on maybe what a typical week of training is for me leading into a competition, right? So for this one, there's not a whole lot of structure as far as like my squats and bench right now. I'm just kind of playing around with a few different things. Like I said, I'm trying to get the squat suit working and whatnot, trying to get that worked in. But as far as like bench goes and like arms and shoulders, stuff like that, I'm just kind of doing some new things, trying to get stronger, not really having too much structure. Since I'm doing a single lift meet, only doing deadlift, I don't try to put a whole lot of emphasis on being strict. you know, with lifts that I don't need to focus on, that I'm not trying to hit a specific number with. So, you know, I'm playing around with different variations, trying to keep things interesting. Like I said in the beginning, guys, you know, if you have any comments, if you have any questions rather, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will try to answer them to my best ability. I only need like maybe 3 or 4 more questions from you guys, and I'll be able to start putting together like Q&A videos. So like I said, you guys leave comments, and I'll be sure to shout you guys out and try to answer those questions to the best of my ability. And I'm sure the questions that you have, many other people have as well, so we'll be able to kind of keep it going like that. So lastly, stay tuned, guys, for my next video that will be out either today or tomorrow. It's going to be Team How Strong. I'm gonna have all the team competing in the meet with me, all 7 or 8 of us, I believe. We're all going to be meeting up tomorrow, and all of our goals for tomorrow is going to be hitting 95% of our 1 rep max for deadlift. So we're going to be trying to hit a heavy number tomorrow for 2 singles, and then call it at that, so that when it comes meet day, we're ready to hit 100% or more of our 1 rep max. So it should go really well, guys. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be our biggest group by far. You guys I definitely think you guys will like it. Going to be a lot of heavy lifting in there. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Please share, like, and subscribe if you guys like the content, and I definitely will be putting out more videos here coming in the near future.